Share my screen. Put this back over here so I can see everyone. So it looks like, guys, we're gonna have a small group today, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because, sorry, I'm trying to find my chat again. I want to start out, good grief, okay. I want to start out just by saying I have a lot of information to throw at you today. It's a lot of statistics, not like doing statistics, but just a lot of stats about Facebook, Instagram, and email. Maybe 15 minutes. And then I left a big chunk at the end so that I could answer questions that you guys actually have about the platforms or about a different platform or just in general social media questions that I could hopefully answer for you. When I was putting this presentation together, I was like, this may be helpful, this may not. So I'm just gonna give you a bulk of information and then leave a lot of time at the end so that if you, one, are done and wanna hop off. But if you do have actual questions that you want me to answer specifically, then I will gladly sit here and do this. I don't want to go over the hour mark with questions, so then if we get close to that time, we can set up another time just one-on-one to have that conversation. I would happily do that with you guys. So let's get started. I don't think we have anyone new. It looks like everyone has been here, so I'm going to skip forward a little bit and just do a quick recap of, you know, we've been doing the mind mapping. The value, the mind map is to help us create value for our students or to articulate what the value is to our students. And then last week we talked about putting everything in a timeline. Was everyone able to get that? Were you guys able to open the timeline? Was it helpful at all? Yeah? Okay, cool. Awesome. Can you see my screen? Are we good?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And as always, please stop me if you have a question. It's a small group today, so if you want to be unmuted so that you can just like spout off a question, great. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat and we'll get to it. Again, Kelly and Tracy are here to kind of oversee that. And again, I'm Morgan. So today, Facebook, Instagram, and email. I found this and I thought it was super funny, so I put it on here. So instead of some nice little quote, I felt like this summed up social media to a T. So today we are talking about donuts, a lot of donuts, because who doesn't like a good donut? Twitter basically summed up, I'm eating a hashtag donut, because Twitter is a search engine. It's a Google social media site. So that is what a hashtag is for. Hashtags help us to find things. So I'm eating a hashtag donut. Facebook, I like donuts, feeling full, because you know you can put your how you're feeling in Facebook. LinkedIn, my skills include eating donuts. Pinterest, the best donut recipe ever. Instagram, look at this perfect donut, no filter. Because if you use Instagram, everyone's always like, no filter. YouTube, watch me open this box of donuts. I was thinking, you know, kids watching their YouTube videos and opening toys and things like that. And these kids make like millions of dollars doing that. Snapchat is just a picture of me eating a donut with some crazy saying. So that is kind of setting the mood for today. It's going to be light. It's going to be easy. But again, throwing a lot of stats at you at the same time. So we're going to jump right into some Facebook stats. These numbers are insane, but I'm going to try to articulate it in a way to where we can relate it to our own cities, okay? Because everyone's from a different city, and clearly we don't have this many people in our town. So 1.62 billion with a B users are using Facebook every single day. However, if we just look at the US, it drops down to 183 million with an M. Out of those, there's 69% are adults And the average time spent, Facebook is saying that people are spending on the platform is 58 minutes. I have to assume, though, that it is much higher for the average person, especially now. People were showing, so at the beginning of COVID, all of this research was coming out saying that, you know, engagement was up 300, insane amounts of time, because people hadn't quite figured out how to work from home yet. So they were spending all of this time on social media. And then after a couple of weeks and life started transitioning to a new normal, then we started seeing a drop. Then Facebook hit like this huge, you know, all the uprising in the world, people started boycotting social media. So then as advertisers, we saw pricing spike. So at first we were getting like these super, super low rates. This is going into more detail than you probably need. Just interesting facts. We were seeing a lot of low rates because engagement was up, which means pricing goes down, kind of like supply and demand. And then maybe I said that wrong. I don't know. Anyway, then people were boycotting Facebook. So then our prices spiked up because no one was using it and we were like scrambling. So Facebook is going through the ringer right now, but still a great platform. 96% of people use Facebook on their mobile. Who here has a Facebook page, even if it's just personal? Do you check it mostly on mobile or desktop?
Mobile.
Mobile, yeah, same. Now for my business and for business uses, I use my desktop. Unless I'm out and about and I need to snap a picture for work, then I will use my phone. But for the majority of my personal Facebook usage, I'm on my mobile. So that is really telling. And really the thing you need to know about that, if you're going to use it going forward, is just when you're doing pictures or creating graphics or anything, you want to create it with a mobile viewpoint in mind. Have you ever gone to a business Facebook page and noticed their cover photo like expands and you can't see the whole thing? It's because they designed it with a computer in mind instead of a mobile where everything is more, you know, portrait instead of landscape. So just something to keep in mind. If it messes up, you mess it up and you fix it. Like, truly not a big deal. 85% of people watch Facebook videos on mute. Do you watch videos on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
And then do you use sound or do you not use sound? No sound. I don't use sound unless I'm alone. Mostly just because I don't want people, one, to have to listen to it, but really, if there's closed captioning, then you don't really need to use it. So what is Facebook's purpose? Facebook is really known for sharing news articles, photos, and photo albums, stories. Okay, so stories being this new highlight reel. Ooh, go away. Cancel. This little highlight, so stories, okay? I don't know what those were, so don't judge me if there was something bad. So stories, then videos. Video is becoming the most popular thing in social media right now. And links, sharing links, attaching links, PDF, you know, any type of sharing. So again, sharing is part of Facebook's whole mission. Relationship building is part of Facebook's mission. Engagement is part of Facebook's mission. Again, I am considered a Facebook guru or whatever, so I know a lot about Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's whole point of Facebook is to build community and have relationships with people in a time where, you know, maybe he foresaw this coming. Who knows? Maybe, never mind. So, you know, with COVID and everything happening, Facebook is still a viable way to connect with people. Not saying that the other platforms will not be viable. I'm just saying social media does have its perks, and during times like this, it is totally useful. So I want to bring in some of these stats again that I was showing you. If I put it into graph form, kind of looks Halloweenish, candy cornish. But if you look at these numbers, this 183 million in the US, and then we go down here, if we break that up into demographics, this was from October of 2019. So when we're looking at these percentages, 10, 15, 13, 19, that sounds so tiny, right? Because when we think about the people who are reading our posts, what age demographic are we looking at? If you were to use Facebook, what out of these age groups, what age group do you think you're hitting?
For our programs, is that what you're asking?
Yes, sorry.
I would say 25 to 34 or even 35 to 44 based on the age of the guardians of the kids.
That's kind of what I was thinking for you guys as well. So if we go one step further, while we started out at 138 million people, if we take one of those percentages and we just are looking at females, that's still 23.7 million people. Not even just people, females in those age brackets. So we are still talking about so many people are using Facebook. So this obviously is not the reach of how, who we would reach in our community. But if you take those numbers and kind of think of your population, so how many people are in Pittsburgh? I don't know, 10,000. And if we think, okay, 13% of those people are females in the demographic that I need to reach, what is that, 1,300? So possibly 1,300 people could see my post. And that is what you want to go for. You just want to think about it realistically in your mind. And is it a worthwhile platform to be on? Okay, any questions there? Okay, so let's move to Instagram. Who has an Instagram? Who uses Instagram? Yeah, so, okay. So I have an Instagram. I have maybe 5 pictures on Instagram. I'm not a typical marketer where I'm an early adopter. I am like a laggard. Like I do things the opposite of how typical marketing people do things. I like to see how people use it and then I'll decide if I want to use it. So I'm still a Facebook person. But Instagram is owned by Facebook, and they are saying that 1 billion Instagram users use the platform monthly, and 500 million of those are using Instagram stories, which again is different than Instagram. It's the same platform, but again, it's this like scrolling bar at the top. Now, something interesting when we're talking Facebook stories or Instagram stories, Facebook newsfeed and Instagram newsfeed is, I guess, what we'll call it. They, as a marketer, those are 2 totally different audiences. The people who look at stories typically do not look at the newsfeed. They're choosing one or the other. So for you guys, I would just recommend choosing, if you're going to post something to Facebook, I would choose newsfeed and story just to hit everybody. Because I don't think you need to dive into, well, who is looking at the stories and who is on my newsfeed? Like easeability, just throw it out there, okay? So same with Instagram. I know that those are 2 different people, but the information that you guys are sharing, truly just put it out there. Like, don't worry about Joey's mom on the stories and Susie's mom in the news feed and how are you going to get them both. Just post it to both and be done with that. 110 million people are using Instagram in the US, 37% are adults, 53 minutes compared to 58 minutes. Again, I still think it's higher, and the majority are going to be teens. Now, Instagram and Facebook are different. They look different. They perform differently. The algorithms are different. But again, for what you guys need to know, Instagram is considered a highlight reel, where in Facebook, it's acceptable to post an album of a beach vacation. Instagram, it's acceptable to post the best photo from your beach vacation. You don't post the whole thing, you post the best. Instagram is known for influencers. A lot of fashion bloggers use Instagram because it's visual. Instagram is meant to be visually appealing, where Facebook is more focused on relationships and get to know me and this is who I am. Instagram is like, I live the high life, check me out. I mean, not really, but you can use it in other ways. But the majority of people use Instagram in that way. Now, you can still engage people and have conversation. When I say engagement, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to have an engaging conversation with you. Let's have a conversation. Back and forth, back and forth. That's what I mean by engagement. IGTV. Now, here's where I think you guys could use Instagram to your benefit. Where you can post videos on Facebook. Instagram now has this IGTV, and anyone can set an account or a channel, I think is what it's called on Instagram, an IGTV channel. And you can post videos up to 10 minutes, I believe, long. And that is a newer feature, so I don't know a ton about it, but then I think it could be really beneficial if you need to post a video of like a kid practicing a speech or, just anything you need to let people know. So that's always a good option for you. Again, the percentages are just a tad bit different, but the majority of kids are using Instagram. But we do see these adopters in the older age groups as well. If you were to choose Instagram, are we still looking at the same demographic, or would you change who you're targeting on Instagram?
I'm going to look more for the high school students.
So your message on Instagram would be more geared towards the students and not their parents. Okay. Yeah. All right.
One of the things with the stories on Instagram, because Facebook does own them, you can auto share your Instagram story into your Facebook stories.
Yes.
So I'm sure
the other way.
Synced them. Yes, but not the other way.
Yeah. So then there's these weird quirky things that you'll start noticing. So you can post, it's called cross posting. And I think that's even the option that you choose when you're going to post. You can cross post from Instagram to Facebook, but not Facebook to Instagram. And it's a formatting thing because Instagram is formatted differently. Yeah. The pictures can't be cropped. It's just this weird thing. So, just little quirks of social media. So again, to put it in perspective, if we take one of these, we're still looking at 18.7 million people when you look at a percentage. So one of the percentages. Any questions on Instagram? Okay, email. Does anyone feel like they are tied to their email all the time? Yes, and probably even more now because you're literally sitting at a computer instead of face-to-face, right? And maybe that'll change in the fall. But here's why we feel like we're tied to our computers, because 293.6 billion emails are sent every day, and probably 1 million of those are mine. So that is why. But I wanted to tell you a couple of things about the types of emails that show to have a really good open rate. Because, and actually, I'm going to take a step back. So at the KCCTE, we have a platform called Emma that the whole university has, and it actually helps us to know and to track who is opening our emails, who is not opening our emails, who's clicking in our emails. I'm giving you a lot of information. So I know if you don't open my emails that I send to you, just so you know. So spread the word. I know. You're not opening them, people. So 82% of people will open a welcome email. And if you think about that from a consumer point of view, someone who's purchasing something, if I sign up for an Old Navy credit card, I'm going to get a welcome email, right? And most likely that welcome email is going to have a discount inside of it. So typically welcome emails are opened, and it's showing, statistics are showing 82%. 82% is amazing. I mean, what would we do if we had 100 parents and we sent it to all 100 and 82 of them actually read the email? Like, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. 50% are opened if you personalize the subject line, which means instead of just saying, I don't know, new resources, like that would be an email you send out. Instead, I could say new ag resource available now. You know, I'm just coming up with something off the top of my head. But I would hope that the ag teachers who get that email would open it because they'd be like, oh, I wonder what this is. This directly relates to me. So if you can make a subject line personalized more than just a vague, like, hey, open me email, then it's, you know, you've got a 50% chance there of it being opened. Do you notice that as a consumer when you're looking at your personal emails? Do you know the companies that you just delete automatically and the ones that you'll open? And what makes you decide that?
I would say a lot of it's like my loyalty to the company.
Okay.
Like most of the time I'll open one of my Amazon emails because I'm on Amazon quite a bit.
Yeah.
Or if it's like something that I have been like on my mental list that I need to look at and I see an email come through from them, then I'll check it out too. So it's kind of where I am personally at that point.
So Amazon has created a lot of value to you, for you. Yeah. So it goes back to our mind map, and everything that we're doing is all about creating value to our students, to the parents, to the grandparents, to the community. So the more value the more value that you create for them, the more loyal they're going to become, right? Mm-hmm. Also, here's something interesting. 99% of people check their email at least once a day. 99. When has a 99 stat ever been available? So some things that we already know about email is that you can send basically anything. A link, you can do newsletters, info, make a welcome letter, do a salesy, like a pitch. Hey everyone, we have a fundraiser. That type of an email, a salesy type of thing. Send a video. If you've got something funny or you've got something really interesting, do a video instead of typing it out. Because if we know anything about today's society, it's that we're lazy and we don't want to read anything. But we'll watch just about anything, right? Yeah, especially if it's 30 seconds or less. Or just send a photo. Consumers believe that email is more likely to be around in 10 years from now. So in 2030, email will still be a thing, but Facebook, Twitter, and cable might not be. Believe it or don't believe it. Did we think 10 years ago, did we think email was still going to be a thing? Did anyone even think about it? I don't know that I thought about it either.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay, so here's something fun. Ready? Pop quiz. Okay, everyone turn their microphones on. It's not really a pop quiz. So we're going to guess which platforms these are. And it is more than just Facebook, Instagram, and email. Okay? So remember, donuts. What platform do you think this was created in?
Instagram.
Snapchat.
Oh, okay, see what we're doing.
Okay, I actually am going to hold my phone up to this one, okay?
This is TikTok.
It is TikTok.
No.
But I want to show you this video because I want it to stir some creativity for you guys, okay? I'm going to pull it up. I had it pulled up so that I could show it to you. Okay. Wouldn't that be so cool for a fax teacher? Do we have any fax teachers here today? Yeah, okay. Cassie, wouldn't that be so cool to do like a time-lapse type video and have it be like, I don't know, even just decorated okay, I like to watch baking videos. I follow a lot of baking videos. And my most recent one is like cheesecakes, but I still watch just regular cakes. And how, it's really cool to see the whole progression. And, they spin it once and it's like all iced, and then you see it and then it's, I don't know. I just think if there's something in your classes that can be done in a time lapse, even welding or a painting or just anything that you can put fun music to. And I think TikTok is, okay, I've never created a video on TikTok, so I don't know the steps for that. I will waste a good hour watching TikTok videos after the kids go to bed. And then my husband looks at me like I'm crazy because I'm just sitting there laughing because they're really funny.
Mhm.
But if you can come up with something creative, then do it, because I think they're really funny. And they don't all have to be funny, but most of them are. Okay, what platform is this? Yeah, Pinterest. So the best donuts ever. If you just search in Pinterest donut, there's going to be like 75 best donut recipes that pop up. So again, facts, this would be great to connect to a blog. So Pinterest is actually used as a blog search engine. Mm-hmm. And guys, when you think of social media, truly they're just their own search engines. It's just another way for someone to find you, okay? Pinterest is a blog search engine. It just has pretty pictures. Instagram, Twitter is a search engine, and you search using hashtags. Instagram, same thing. You search, you can explore by hashtags or interests and things like that. So again, Pinterest. Which one is this?
Instagram.
Instagram. This is actually if anyone ever goes to Destin, this is a great.
Oh, I love
Destin. Let's all go now.
I know. They have the best chocolate muffins ever. The best. Okay. And I only know that because we were there for like 4 days and we went all 4 days. It's fine. We're fine. Instagram. Okay. And then this. Facebook. Because it's technically an album. Mm-hmm. Facebook. And then what about this one?
Is this Canva?
It was probably created in Canva, but it's an email.
Oh, okay.
That's flyer. Email. Yeah. Flyer, email, whatever. But yes, I do believe it was, this looks like a Canva template. Mm-hmm. We're actually going to talk about Canva next week. It's one of the programs that I want to show you guys. That's super easy to use.
They have free educator accounts. And so you get access. Yeah, you get access to like some of the advanced graphics and stuff like that. So if you want to sign up for one, it takes a little bit of time because it usually gets caught in your spam filter through school. But I was able to get in there and get signed up for the free account. So I have more access to like some of the advanced features.
So is it the full, or do they still limit it?
It's pretty close to full.
Okay.
It's not like, I haven't found a feature that I can't use yet.
Okay.
But I don't get into like the uploading your own fonts and stuff like that. There's additional graphics. There's additional fonts and stuff.
Okay.
And it also, I think it lets you resize after the fact, which was a premium feature before.
Okay. Well, next week, if you're on, you'll have to let me know if thank you, Tracy, if it's different, because we actually pay for the premium or whatever. Okay. So you'll have to let me know. Okay. So as we wrap up this part, I know that was really just stat based and just a lot of information thrown at you, but I wanted to give you that background so that as you're moving forward, that you have a good understanding of like where the platforms are coming from and why maybe they do the things that they do. And so again, I sent out that survey yesterday, and several of you had mentioned that you aren't using anything, but you want to incorporate this one, and this one. Well, that is amazing. And I want you to be creative and do that. But what I don't want you to do is get burnout and overworked, because you're already overworked, especially now. I want you to know why. Like, why am I using Facebook? So in the grand scheme, yes, have a Facebook, have an Instagram, have a Twitter, have a TikTok, have a Snapchat. But the reality of truly keeping up, like my full-time job is marketing here at the KCCTE, and I can't even keep up with Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and email, and the website, and the blog. And, you know, like like this is my full-time job, and it is a lot of work. And so I'm hoping that by using the mind map and really figuring out what you need to talk about, then moving it to the timeline when you want to talk about it, and then choosing a platform for why you want to talk about it will help you not be as overwhelmed if you truly feel like you need to use all of them. But my personal recommendation is just to choose one and start there. And then maybe next year add a second one. And then maybe the next year add a third one if you want to. But truly, guys, you don't have to use all three of them. Like, you do not have to use, you can use one and still be plenty successful. There are plenty of big businesses who only use one platform. So as homework for next week, I truly just want you to pick one. I want you to pick one platform, and if you haven't already used the timeline, try to put some stuff in the timeline. I'm gonna pull the timeline up really quick. Wrong thing. Sorry, it's gonna take me a second. I had it right here. If you have not already utilized this, I think it really would be beneficial for you if you're, moving forward with a platform. But let's just use the CTE month, where I have these social fun facts. I'm going to create a campaign, that's just what we call them, and I'm going to do Facebook posts, one Facebook post a week over CTE month stats or CTE stats. And then every week I'm going to send an email with CTE stats to the community, just so they know. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to send out a newsletter that shows all the fun things that we did to celebrate CTE month, with pictures of my students, with community involvement, whatever we did. So that, by being as detailed as you can with this timeline, I think it will really set you up for success. So for the homework, I just want you to keep completing this. And even if you choose one for next week, that's fine, because I'm going to show you some programs that'll help to just reiterate whatever that message that you're choosing on that platform that you're choosing. The platform, or the program that we're going to do this in, is Canva. And so I think that you guys I promise it is easy. And I'll just show you, and then like Jessica said, you can create an account later if you want to. So tons of info, guys. What questions do you have? I'm trying to find my thing. I don't know where it's at. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Does anyone want to stay on? And guys, I lost my thing again. Does anyone want to stay on and have me show you anything on platforms, or is everyone pretty comfortable? Is anyone after this series going to start a Facebook page or start an Instagram page?
We're talking about it. We're trying to decide what that looks like, because one of the biggest concerns we have is not going too crazy. Do we need a page for every pathway? Do we just need a CTE one? Do we need it by cluster? What kind of things do we want to communicate? And then obviously the maintaining of it is is kind of a little bit overwhelming right now is the word
Yeah.
I would use.
And okay, remind me, Jessica, Kim, and Brad all work together?
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Okay. So, and remind me again, there is not currently a Facebook page.
That there are certain there's some, but not organized. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. So one thing to just, again, I don't know the skill level. I don't know, you know. Oh, also, if you need to hop off, please hop off. Like, not gonna hurt my feelings. One thing that we need to make sure that everyone understands. A Facebook page has to be connected to a personal profile, which makes it sticky in a school situation. Because if a teacher doesn't come back the next year and they are the admin on that Facebook page, they need to make sure and pass that on to someone else. And I can show, do you guys want me to show you where that's done? Or do you know where that is? You know where it is? Okay. Okay. So in the page settings, really settings are where I would focus on it first, and just the profanity filter, put it as strong. It'll hide the comments automatically. You can also in page rules set, like I would recommend all three of you being an admin. Now, as an admin, you can change your notification settings without affecting the other admin. So Kim, if you decide you are tired of getting Facebook emails, the 17 that come to your email every day, you can change that notification, but it won't affect how Jessica and Brad get their notifications. Your page info, make sure that it's correct. What do you guys need to know anything? Do you want to know anything regarding, do you want to know about insights, and do you need to know about any of that stuff? I don't think you do. I think it's really just a message platform. I would say for post-secondary, they need to know that a little bit more, but
I have a question, Morgan.
Yeah.
So in ours, so the KCCTE Facebook, I started it with my personal account. So if I were to leave KCCTE, then what happens with it? If I make someone else an administrator, they take it over, or does it have to be?
Yep.
Okay, I thought that's what you were saying, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so like well, I mean, it's set up as this, but yeah, Tracy's an admin. I'm an admin as this KCCTE PSU. So you guys, Facebook has almost made things a little bit more difficult. So this KCCTE PSU is actually me, and it's the business manager because we place ads, but you guys don't really need to mess with that. So then if one of you leaves, you can just edit and change the status or remove them. So
Okay.
very, very simple, but also if it gets hacked, it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Morgan, in the chat,
Oh,
Chad was in there talking about the IT department made an email for his store.
you can change the email address and name. Is chat, make an email. Yes. So
Yeah, I was talking about, I had the IT department make an email address so that, like you said, if someone else comes over in the future, that would be a good way to transition over to them.
instead of it
so-
being connected to the
Right. So my school store is Comet Connection. So my email address is cometconnection@gmail, or actually at the school address. And then Facebook, you can actually go in and change the email address and the primary contact
yes.
when that happens.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's a good idea too. But to start the page, did you have to connect it to you had to have your page, your profile connected, right? And then
Yeah, what I did was I used the school mascot as the name, and then connected it to that email, and then built a profile for there.
okay, cool. Yeah, that would work as well. Instagram, same thing, to start a business page, which again, oh, it's also really important when you guys are setting up, profile is your person, page is the business or school. Do not set up the school as a profile. It will get shut down very quickly. Any other questions or anything like that? I don't want to keep you guys if you don't have any. Okay, all right, well.